I actually don't know, to be quite honest. The release, it's being released in America, in New York and Los Angeles on December the 14th, and then it goes wider, in a wider release in the middle of January. New Zealand and Australia is on the 26th of December. You know, around the world, and Japan I think is in March or something. I mean, around the world, just in the next 2 or 3 months, it's being released at different times in each country, and I honestly don't know why any decision has been made about it. Yeah. No, it's honestly nothing to do with any of that. I mean, you serve the story. I mean, as a filmmaker, you have to look at the story and deliver what the story requires. And obviously there's a certain amount of interpretation. So, you know, if you were filming the afterlife, it would be different to me. Any one of us would film a different version, because certainly in terms of a movie location, it's interesting because it's not as if our movie's set in Victorian England, and so all of us have an idea of what Victorian England looks like, and we can kind of recreate it. This is the afterlife, and what does that look like? So it becomes an incredibly personal interpretation, and the way that we approached it was through Susie's psychology, because what Alice Sebold does describe in the book is that everybody's version of the in-between, she calls it the in-between, this in-between life and death, this kind of limbo land that she's stuck in, that everybody's in-between is different, that it's not like an actual set location or an environment that is shared by everyone who dies. It's all to do with who you are as a person and what your thoughts are and thinking. It's almost like a dreamlike state. Just as you dream at night, you create this in between as part of your subconscious after you die. And so we took that as our clue, and everything in that in between is based on Susie and Susie's character and the pop culture and also the imagery of dream, so that, you know, the gazebo that she is in several of the scenes, the gazebo is supposed to represent safety, her home, her family. That's all. The gazebo is a metaphor for those things, just as in a dream. Like everything's got a coded sort of connection, as if it's the rules of interpreting dreams. Mr. Harvey, the killer, is depicted by this empty, spooky house in this very barren landscape, and the house is her killer. And the mystery is for her, is part of the mystery is what happened to her body, because she fled her own murder. She ran away from it, and she didn't know what he did with her body. But she knows if she's going to find out the truth, she has to go through that door, because that door is her way into Harvey's mind. And the idea of confronting his mind and having to get into his brain to learn these mysteries is terrifying to her. Yeah, the lighthouse that's there occasionally, lighthouse represents death. So we did have a plan for all of this to make sense in a subconscious kind of way for Susie. And then there's the fun stuff, which is her 14-year-old imagination conjuring up incredible landscapes and crazy, wacky colours and things when she's happy, and when she's sad or tense, that it's darker and more moody. So everything is supposed to be tied into her personal psychology, because that's the way that we approached it. So we're only ever serving the needs of the movie when we try to create these things, do what's best for the film.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The photo, please.
So sure is going to come in here.